Oh my goodness, guys, today has been a day. It has been a day. Sorry it took me so long to go live. As many of you guys know, I'm getting ready to go on a trip, so I was trying to get things done, laundry, all the things. And then I started a print in the printer while I was gone, thinking it was going to be done so we could do a print together, and it's still not done. It's got about 45 minutes left, so it'll be about the time that we're wrapping up the video, probably closer to that time. But I did want to show you guys some of the stuff that we did print, and you guys are going to actually sit with me while we glue some of these together, and I'm going to show you guys this. So you guys saw how this was printing yesterday. This is a dice holder / can holder, and I printed this dragon, and I used black or red and gold filament. So he's got like the look of red and gold. It's really cool looking. The video, honest to goodness, it does not do it justice, but it needs to be glued to sit here on top of this so that this can be added to the website. I have not added the other things to the website. I'm probably not going to add them to the website right now until I get back from my trip. But the snake turned out super cool, guys, and I'm going to have to paint the snake, but he has got some heft to him. His little rattle actually rattles. It makes a rattle sound. His mouth opens and closes. He is super cool, and he kind of spins up on himself. So, like, holding him, he's got some heft. Like, I am not going to lie. He's got some weight to him, which is really cool. It's kind of the color of my shirt, to be honest. But he turned out really awesome. I love how he turned out. And so what I'm going to do is probably put him into the airbrush booth, which I've got to set up when I get back. And we're going to kind of camouflage him with a darker brown. Maybe even put some spots in there. I'm going to look up a bunch of pictures of rattlesnakes, get their markings down so he can kind of look really cool and authentic. And you can see how tall he is. I'm sitting down, and he's got some height to him. So he's pretty cool, and I love how he turned out. I definitely want to print a couple more of him, them, it, whatever, because I just think it's really cool. And that rattle kind of working is really awesome. So that will be eventually painted and gone onto the website as well. But let's do this. Let's glue this. Let me move you guys. I'm going to move you guys to my other phone mount. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, because this one is just easier to move. We are going to glue this on so that it has that look to it. And as you can see, the details on this, it does have the dragon's hands here, but I liked it better in the gray. That's a personal preference, because I just thought it kind of, I don't know, it just kind of blended in really, really well. And down here at the bottom, it's kind of almost like a mouth. Super cool. And then I have these dice. And so you roll the dice down in here. It goes down into this little bin right here. This does fit a can. I checked it because I was like, wow, that's really deep compared to this one. It looks really deep, and it is. The can on this one comes up to about here. You can still see the can. The can almost goes to the lid, but it would be kind of, I think it'd be easier to drink out of. So we've got lots of cool things like that we'll be doing. And like I told you guys yesterday, if you haven't watched the live, go back and watch it, or watching it if you're watching this on YouTube, because I send all these over to YouTube. Please subscribe, first of all. And second of all, if you guys have any questions, you can, of course, ask. So what we are going to be doing is doing a lot of projects like this. I want to show you guys behind the scenes as much as I possibly can of Riverstone Cottage Gifts, because I personally think that the more transparent I am, the more, I don't know, I just find it more enjoyable to share and to show you guys what we're doing here. My office space is not the cleanest because it is in chaos right now. I'm still in the process of organizing. I personally am a huge fan of things in their place. I like bins that are labeled, that tell me what's in them. So I don't have to look at them and be like, what's in this? So I will be doing lots of that. I have a little bit of a dilemma because I need some storage in this room. this is the big bonus room above the garage, so it didn't have a lot of storage. It's got one little tiny closet. Technically, it's considered an extra bedroom because it does have a closet, but the closet is so small. And right now, it's kind of got all my photography stuff in it. So I need to find some storage solutions. I have a little trip planned in my head to IKEA to get some more cabinets. Again, not sponsored by any of these companies, guys, but I just, I feel like that's what I need. I need some storage solutions, places where I can put extra filament, places that I can put extra tumblers, mugs. They're not sitting in boxes underneath my tables. So we got lots and lots going on, and I might even show you guys some of that because I actually have a sky float mount, and it mounts to the ceiling, and I can actually put my phone in it, and you guys can see the whole space all in one. And we will work on stuff like that. We're going to work on DTF, sublimation, all of it. So let's get ready to glue this cool dragon to the front of this Fortress can holder slash dice holder. So what I'm using here is a really cool instant adhesive. It's actually meant for jewelry, guys. This tends to work just really, really well. I've seen other things where people are like, use E6000. Great. E6000 needs to be in an area that's got well ventilation because, guys, those fumes are going to get to you. I've had a friend that has gotten really messed up from those fumes, so I'm not doing that. So this one basically does not have any fumes. Plus, I have a fan going above me. And I have found that this works perfect for the plastics. Now, obviously, there are other glues out there that are meant more for plastic. There are glues out, and that's up to you, however you want to do it. But we're going to use the this jewelry and crystal glue instant adhesive. It is, I'm looking at the back, I'm trying to read the directions here. I'm just looking to make sure it is not water soluble because it actually, it says it has no vapors, which is great. And I'm looking at it without my glasses on because I can read finer print like that. Makes me look kind of old, but it's all good. If you accidentally eat it, I don't know why you would do that. Obviously called poison control, of course. I mean, who's eating glue? But hey, whatever. I mean, I can see maybe getting like out of your finger and like licking your finger or something, but it can get into your eyes. You gotta wear protective gear. You know, it's all of the normal caution stuff that they tell you. It will instantly stick to your skin, but you can use acetone to get it off your skin and warm water. And it says refrigeration will prolong the shelf life of the glue. Now, to be honest, if you're using this as a can holder, I don't foresee you having to wash it. And if you do have to wash it, I will probably put stickers on the bottom of these that say wash by hand because, I mean, that's what I do with my tumblers. So we're going to flip him over and we are going to stick glue all over the bottom here. We are going to do that. Hello, everyone. Popping a hi, Punsby. Sir Punsby. All right, guys. Oh, my goodness. I think the lid glued itself on. Oh, no. If that is the case, I cannot get that glue off. I was not the last one to use this. That's fabulous. It is not coming off. Okay, I'm going to let my husband try because he's stronger than I am, but it is not coming off there. Okay, I heard it like click, so it's almost kind of like it got a little bit loose or a little bit glued, maybe. Some glue got on there. Oh, no, close it back up. No. Okay. So as you can see, it's got like one of those precise tubes. That is awesome. I'm super glad that they're still holding up. I love hearing that. So as you can see, it's kind of going on. It's very liquid. It's almost looks like water. And so I'm just kind of like rubbing it on here. I don't know if you guys can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick it on, and then I'm going to hold it here. It's going to adhere pretty quickly. I'm going to hold it on. I'm glad that those earrings are holding up. That makes me very, very happy to hear. I love when customers are satisfied because that makes me feel like I'm actually doing my job. Oh no, guys. Oh, it's not adhering. It's on there, but I'm thinking we might have to use more glue because it's on there, like it's sticking. And it says instant hold. I mean, we all know how that works, right? It's not exactly instant. And like I said, you guys can see the iridescent in that face. It's super cool. When it was printing at first, I thought it was a wolf. Aha, it's on there now. So now you got the dragon. And I wanted to print the dragon's head just a different color because this took an extra like 3.5 hours. Because of the fact that I wanted it to pop. Thank you so much. I love that you think we do great work. I take pride in everything that I make because I want my customers to be satisfied and happy, and that just makes me happy. So yes, this is on, guys. This is he's on there. I'm gonna leave him sit while I'm gone for my 4 or 5 days, and I'm just gonna let it cure. If it falls off for any reason, I will probably then. I might even hot glue it because I do have an industrial hot glue gun. I know it sounds crazy. I got to show you guys this hot glue gun. It's funny. So this hot glue gun, again, not sponsored by any of these companies. This is a Ryobi battery hot glue gun. And I'm talking, guys, this thing gets hot. When I charge it and I turn it on, this tip gets so hot that I actually let it kind of ooze some of the glue out just a little bit. I have to shut it off in order to use it because it gets so hot that if you leave it on, it almost like smokes. It's crazy. But hot glue, the bad thing about hot glue is hot glue can also melt plastic. And this is plastic, and I don't want to put too much on there and then all of a sudden there's a hole in the plastic and all of my 3D print is kind of done. So I would rather use things like this instant glue, this one right here, or a special glue for plastic. That would be more ideal for me to use. But it's on there. It's on there and it's adhering, and I think it looks super cool. I like how different it looks. And I could have painted this part to look more like the dragon. I just kind of like the dragon's hands being a little bit more incognito. And you can always paint these. So if you bought something like this from us, you can always paint these. Acrylic paint will paint to plastic. On that note, acrylic paint is water soluble. So if you're going to put it in water, that paint's going to come off unless you put some kind of sealant on it. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you're buying anything that's painted. I prefer things that are printed in color, but I did do like this one, and it is printed in multiple colors. It's got 2 different colors. I like that, and I like this. I like that design. I like the snake that is just one solid color, but of course I'm going to paint him. So when I paint him, I'm going to be using acrylic airbrush paint, so it will wash off. So if there's like somebody's like, hey, I want to paint him, absolutely, or paint them, or it, or whatever you want to call it. You want to paint the snake, you absolutely can do that, and you can paint all the detail. As you guys can see, it's got the scales. The scales are on it, and watch this. So like the middle has some movement where he kind of slithers and slinks, which is super, super cool. And I would like to print some of these, I think, in green. I have this green iridescent that would be really, really cool. I know rattlesnakes don't always come in those colors, but as my niece says, they can come in any color you want. You use your imagination. So I just thought it was really cool. And looking at it in the light, it does have some like iridescence to it. So which is really cool. And obviously you can see on the bottom where it was on the bed. But snakes kind of have that look to them. I don't know if anybody is like, oh, I don't like snakes. You know, I'm not a huge fan of snakes myself. But obviously I really don't like rattlesnakes. I don't want to be around a rattlesnake. But this is a really cool design, and I love how it turned out. And I printed the whole thing. It took 49.5 hours. The longest print to date, which I was super excited about. The one before that was the dragon, which is actually going to its new home this weekend. So I'm really excited about that. And then obviously I painted the horse. I painted its hooves. I use acrylic paint markers. I use the markers because I personally think the markers are easier to paint and to get into that detail. I am not a painter, guys. I am not a painter. That was not my forte. That was my sister's forte. I'm the photographer. That's my form of art. But I did paint these, and basically when you use the acrylic markers, it honestly feels almost kind of like painting your nails or painting like a paint by numbers. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. I can also make these in multiple colors on the Bambu because the Bambu can print up to 4 colors. So if it's something that you're like, hey, I want this, but I want to, you know, like the kid I'm giving it to or whatever is going to put it in water, you definitely want it to have the colors in the filament instead of the paint, because that paint is going to come right off. And I tell people that because I don't want people to give it to their niece, nephew, cousin, kids, whatever, and then be like, hey, your paint came off in the bathtub or in the pool or whatever. So we also bought this right here. This is a 3D pen. I bought this because it was recommended to me by my 3D group. And yes, guys, I am part of a 3D group so that I can find out like all the information. So you're going to use the same filament as in this. So this is for like places maybe that, let's just say the print went fabulous. This was done on the Snapmaker. Snapmaker's a little bit less precise than the Bambu, I have noticed, but certain prints, not so much. Like the snake, that's pretty precise, and there was no flaws to this. Now, there have been a couple times where I've gone to get a print off the print bed, and maybe a piece off the tail comes off. We've glued it. Well, now we can do this. We can take the color of the filament and we can just draw it back in. You sand it down, you smooth it, and it's good to go. So this is just another tool that we will be using. I also thought it'd be really, really cool to take somebody's drawing or an idea and be able to actually draw it out. I think that would be super, super cool. So I haven't used that yet. That's a new toy that we just got for filling in and helping all of our prints, because like I said, I want my prints to go to people who love them. I want them to love them just as much as we do when they're printed, and watching the 3D printer is just a really, really cool thing. I have the video of this snake being printed, so I'm going to put that up on YouTube. It will be added probably today later. It probably won't actually add today. I probably set it up to add like tomorrow, because I won't be live again until I get back. I won't be back until the 31st. So we've got lots of things, you know, that we won't be doing obviously till then. And the printers are going to kind of have their little mini vacation, which is always a good thing, right? Hopefully when we come back, everything works great. The WeCreate, that was a whole mess. I have to take all of their programs of the things that I have them as an SVG file, but I've got to save them in Photoshop with a negative background, because when I go to put them on there, it wants to print them with everything, and it's just really, really weird. Thank you for the lurk. It's really weird how it does that. It's just bizarre, and I don't know why it's doing that, but it is what it is. And here lately, I think actually it needs an update, because I went to put something in it the other day and the software was like, no, like this isn't happening. So we are going to make sure that everything's up to date. We're going to work on all of that kind of stuff. Maybe if I give the computer some breaks, they will, work great. Fingers crossed. And like I said, guys, he's on. He's not coming off there. So that's awesome. So we're going to get ready. I'm going to pick this camera up, and we're going to show you guys. Right now, I am printing a Predator bust. I have added the tree supports, which the tree supports kind of look like, it almost actually looks like tree roots to me. And I put tree supports on this because it's like, hey, you have, the Bambu tells me this, you have floating elements of this print. They need to have some kind of support, because obviously it's not going to print into the air. It has nothing to adhere to. It's not going to work. So I pulled out my filament that looks like concrete. It actually has a marble look to it. So it kind of is going to look like it's carved out of stone. I am going to take that and put some like moss and stuff on it to make it kind of look like it was in the jungle. But right now it's still got 20 minutes on it. So let's flip the camera so you guys can see how that's printing. It's super cool. You can see the tree root look to it. This is the actual part where it adheres. It is working really, really hard. It's amazing. This is part of the ones that we did yesterday. I sliced them on the Bamboo software and then put them onto a micro SD card. I did some more and then I realized, you know what? The ones that I have done are not ones that I necessarily need to print right now. Because again, I'm trying to move into Scarefest merchandise so that I'm not scrambling towards the end, because that happens every time. I do it every time and I hate last minute stuff. It drives my OCD crazy. But I have a lot of people that actually ask for Predator stuff. So obviously this is a copyright. I cannot put this on the website. This can go with me to a convention, but it cannot go onto the website. I will not put anything on the website that is copyrighted. So if there is something like you want that's maybe a copyright item, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not going to put my business in jeopardy. As much as I would love to make that sale, I can't do that. The integrity of that is just, obviously that's not a great thing to do. So we have done the snake, the dragon pillar, which turned out really cool. We've got this other pillar that we will be putting on the website, and we got the horse. So by the time I get back, there will be quite a few things that need to go onto the website. I'm thinking of printing some more of the snake, maybe ones that people can paint themselves. And that's the question. Do I print them in tan or do I print them in gray? I personally like the tan better because you can paint this a lot easier than you could the gray. The gray is dark. The gray is actually this color right here. So that's pretty dark. I don't know if I have his little head still. I have a snake head that had been floating around here. It was the first thing that I ever printed. I'm trying to find it, guys. Sorry. He might not be here anymore. It might not be here anymore. And it was just the head. It was just this part. And I was meaning to print the rest of the body. And I ended up taking it up to see my family. And I dropped him when I got back home, and his mouth would not stay open. So I was like, well, he's not going to be, I'm not putting that on anything. So I never did print the body. I did, however, keep the head because I just thought it was really, really super cool. I know, I thought it was over here on my desk, but I do not see it. I don't see it anywhere, which is really bizarre because I don't normally throw things away unless they're just, totally ruined. I just don't do that. But I'm going to show you guys the color markers that I'm using. These are just a couple of them that I have. These are acrylic pens, acrylic markers. These ones have two different size. So one's a fine tip, one is a brush tip. I personally like these ones. I have them actually set up on subscription from Amazon. Again, not sponsored, guys. But they are the ones that I have found that work the best. I have bought acrylic pens from other places. I don't think they work as well. These ones just tend to work really well. And I've used them on the wood. I've used them on the plastic. And they work amazing on both. It's driving me a little nuts not knowing where that little snake head is. And of course, when you need to find something, you can never find it. But as soon as that print is done, we are going to actually come over here and we are going to slice. I'll do that while it's printing. A project that's not going to take super long so I can pull it off of there before I head out tomorrow. So let's go over to the desk. We're going to go over here and we are going to check out. Oh, I almost dropped the phone. Doesn't help me to do that. Let me pull my chair out here. Okay. So you guys are going to be probably on an angle, just an FYI, because and I just crushed my finger. Ow. Because it's just easier for you guys to see. So, we are going to, I know, I'm like way over here. I'm going to pull up the Bamboo software. And I'm going to flip the camera. Okay. So, here is the Bamboo plate, right? So, when we move this, and for on the camera it looks like it's up and down, guys, it's not, but let me show you guys what I'm talking about. See how it like moves so that you can see the different ways that that bamboo is going to print. So let's kind of keep it like that. It seems to be pretty good. I showed you guys the other day going to file, going to new project, so it doesn't come up as the dinosaur egg. And of course it's going to come up like that. It is not upright. That's just the way that the camera is showing it. So we are going to do file import. And we are going to import one of our files. Okay, let me see. Let me see. I know it's going to be wonky because I'm holding it. So I went too far back. Nope. Okay. All right. So let's just go into the Happy Easter ones that I've done. Okay, so we have these different bunnies. They're different. You can do keychains. You can do multicolor. They're all written with the bamboo, but let's see if we put it in there. Okay, I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it's downloading the file to the workspace. I'm going to kind of use the same wording I use for the Snapmaker because this is the workspace. That's the way that the Snapmaker is saying it. So it's showing me, you see this? These ghosted plates. Not a fan. I don't like that because I don't have multiple plates. When you do something with multiple plates, see, like this is ridiculous. Like this all does not need to be, I'm not even sure why. The body of the bunny, okay, we're gonna rotate that. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. We're gonna auto rotate it. We're gonna, okay, come on, like, come on. Of course, it's not gonna let me rotate it. Let's, okay. Let's see if he's standing. It's kind of hard to see it through the camera. So, okay, now it's standing. Okay. So why do we have two separate heads? I do not understand. So we're going to move this head over here. We're going to get rid of this one. Okay, we're just going to delete it. And then we are going to delete these plates. This plate's going to get deleted. Let's see if it'll let me delete that. I do have to find where it lets me delete it. Oh, this is a keychain, this is a toy, and this is the body. How weird. Okay, we're just going to do a new project. I don't know why it did that. No, we don't want to save it. That's so weird. But when it prints the multiple plates, that tends to get a little bit chaotic because now you're printing multiple different plates. And you can do that. You can put the file in there and be like, I want this part and this part and this part. But when they're this big, why not put them all on one plate? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It feels like a waste of filament. And it feels like a waste of space, which I do not like that at all. So now I'm going to try. Sure, we'll save the modified. Okay, well, sure. I'm going to try and do it in the multicolor and see if it doesn't give me the multiple plates. Again, guys, nope, it will not. It's only going to give me the geometry. So there's something up with this file. Not sure why. So this actually will not print. It will not print because it doesn't have the proper file format. So we might have to do it in pieces. Like, and sometimes you do. Sometimes you just have to do it in pieces yourself and put them on there. Like, I am not sure why. Why would you not want it multicolored? Okay. All right, new project. Moving on. Like I said, sometimes these projects just tend to... they just drive me crazy. But let's do a hoodie hopper. Let's see if they have a multicolor. Okay, they do have the multicolor. I don't know if you guys can see what is going on. I'm trying to keep the camera as level as possible. See, it's not letting me do it. It just keeps telling me the geometry, which, guys, that's not going to help me. That's not going to help me at all. So it's just showing me the way it looks. Doesn't help me. Doesn't help me at all. I don't know what's going on. Like many things, this is not cooperating. And this is how it's been the past like 3 or 4 days. It's just been driving me crazy. So let's just click on that and see. If it gives me multiple plates, we'll just delete the multiple plates, I guess. I don't know why it would, but, you know, okay. It is. It's giving me the multiple plates. It's giving me the keychain and the toy part. I don't understand why it's doing that. Again, I don't need a keychain head or a toy head. I can put the toy head over here. So we are just going to, again, guys, obviously you can see this is just silly to do that. So this is the keychain. I don't understand why you wouldn't just put it there. So let's just, I don't know if it's going to let me delete it or not. Last time it let me delete it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's like an X up here in the corner. So we're going to delete it. We're going to put it all on one. We are going to rotate him again because I don't like the way it's sitting. And let me zoom in. Let me move this up. Okay, so now he's standing. They're standing. I don't know what makes this one. Oh, okay, I know what makes this one a keychain now. It has 2 holes there. That's the difference. Do we need that? Not really. Is it confusing? Yes, we're going to delete that. So we're going to put some supports on this. We are going to do enable support. We're going to go here and we're going to do tree. And we're going to do on build plate only. Reason why we're doing that, guys, is because then when I go to pull it off of the plate, it's going to adhere to the plate. It's not going to adhere to them as much. It still does a little bit, but not as much. And so now we're going to go over here and we're going to slice it. We are going to go to preview first. It should automatically start slicing. See how it's automatically slicing? So it's going to sit there. I'm going to put the phone down so you guys can actually sit and watch it. It is going to slice that file. Again, it's giving me tips and tricks. It does that all the time. It doesn't matter if you have all the tips and tricks in your, in your head or whatever. It still does it. It doesn't matter. I don't know why you can't get rid of that, but it's just part of the Bambu process. So I just let it sit. So it's kind of going pretty quickly compared to yesterday when it sat at 15% for, it felt like 20 minutes. Now it's at 50. So what it's doing is it's generating the G-code. The Bambu calls it slicing. The SnapMaker calls it generating. So it's the same thing. It's just different wording. So I always just kind of go off of that because it's just like, okay, you guys can, understand it when I word it like that. So we're at 80% already. And once it's done, I'll pick the phone back up and show you guys how I'm going to save this over to the SD card that I have in here. I have the micro SD card that has all the files. So it's telling me, as you can see, it's telling me how long it's going to take. It's going to take 1 day, 1 hour, and 24 minutes, which is insane to me. That seems crazy. But that's how long it's going to take. We're not going to print this, guys. I'm just telling you. That is not going to happen. We are going to save this. It's going to take 6 minutes and 31 seconds prep time, the model printing time, an hour, or 1 day, 1 hour, and 18 minutes. And then it's going to take in total. So that's like all of that. And then it breaks it down. So it's telling me the colors that I need to use are white, black, brown, and like a peach color. I am not going to make that, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to do export plate sliced file. Then we're going to click on that, and then our Yep, there it is. Okay. So our removable disc, you always on the one that comes with the snap or the bamboo, it has to go up underneath models. Okay. So now we're saving it. So we have files on here. I'm going to turn this around. We have tons of files on here now so that we can actually put them over into the bamboo, go into the file and say, okay, this is what I want you to print. I am not 100% sure why it's going to take so long, but I can look at this file and I see there's a lot of tree support. A lot of tree support. So let's see if I change it to a normal support, what the difference is. I'm just going to do that real quick while I'm on here with you guys. You guys don't need to sit here and watch it. But the normal supports almost look like stilts. The reason I like the tree is because they pop off so much easier. They tend to be a cleaner break. They tend to be just a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit stronger, but they're easier to break off. That's my personal opinion since I've done a couple different ones. Like the purple castle had normal supports. The dragon castle one had the tree supports. I thought the tree supports worked great. I printed a remote control holder because I have these lights that you guys can see, the 3 lights. They each have a remote. So I had one remote in the front of the room, one remote in the middle of the room, and one remote in the back of the room. And I was like, this is insanity. Like, you know, I had them numbered 1, 2, 3. And then I thought to myself, how are my guests, when they come and stay, supposed to just like walk all the way to the other side of the office to turn off a light? That doesn't make any sense. So I put them over by my front or by my door. Well, last night, the thing is that it decided it was not going to print the first filament. It was printing the second. Well, I had a smaller spool of black in the second one. The bigger spool of black was in the first. So it printed from the second. Did not print from the first. I don't know why. I still can't figure out why. So it was like, hey, there's no more filament. It's done. So I come upstairs and it said the AMS unit was clogged and there was this whole thing, but it wasn't clogged. It was just that the unit was, the spool was empty. So I went to move the black wide one, you know, the full one that I had. I moved it into the middle and I thought, okay, well, since it printed from that, it's going to print from that next time. So I'm going to stick a pink one in the first one. Well, guess what it decided to do? It decided to print pink. So it was black with pink on top. And it actually worked out really well because the remotes are dark gray. And I will show you guys what I'm talking about in just a few minutes. The remotes are dark gray. So the black kind of would have, they wouldn't have stood out really well. Now they stand out really well because of the pink. And the line, I thought, oh no, there's going to be a really bad line. You're going to definitely see where the two colors came together. Obviously, you can see where the two colors came together, but there's not a distinct line. Like it almost was like, I can adhere completely. So that did not help our, let me flip this around, guys. It did not help. Look, it's still going to take 1 day, 1 hour, and 13 minutes. So there is that. Okay, so we are going to not print that. We are not even going to save that. Do we save it? Do we save it? Okay, we're going to save it. We're just going to save it as number 2 with normal. I'm going to put it on here. Number 2, normal supports. So then I have both. And then we're going to go over and try a different project. We are going to try a new project. I need something that's not going to take 2 days. Obviously, I'm not going to be here. So, I don't want something that's going to take that long. So let's try, let's think here. Well, since I wanted to do Halloween stuff, what about a Halloween bucket? You know the buckets I'm talking about. You remember the little, like, pumpkin buckets that were plastic? Well, we have a Frankenstein bucket with handle holes. And then we have a Frankenstein bucket without handle holes. Why would you have it without handles? That doesn't make, here's my bucket. That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. I'm sure it's going to take a hot minute to print this. But it would be really cool. Oh, he is cool looking though. Let me flip this around so you guys can see. Look how cool he is. He is super cool looking. I love how he looks. Oh, it sounds like the bamboo is done. So, okay. So you can see, obviously, he's got some floating regions. See right here is a floating region. Right here's a floating region. A little bit up here is floating. So we're going to do the tree, guys, because that's just the one that I seem to like. So we're going to hit preview, and then we're going to get it to slice. There we are. And we're going to do this. I'm sure he's going to take a while, but we're saving these files. So I'm also showing you guys how to do that. It might come down to that we're not going to be printing anything because it's already 8 o'clock at night. I'm leaving super early in the morning. Not like super, super early, but I don't want to have to get up at 4 in the morning and pull a print off the printer. Believe me, I've been doing that here lately, and I have not been sleeping very well due to so much other stuff going on. And then traveling always gets me super excited and anxious. Even though I've been there 1,000,001 times, I still feel like, you know, it's just exciting, and I'm going and on a trip, and I get so excited that I don't sleep. So this file's taking a hot minute. So while it's slicing, let's go over and get the bamboo done. Let's go do that. You guys can come with me to get this print off the bamboo. So what is great about the bamboo is it brings the finished project down here to the bottom. You open it up. It's warm. I'm not going to lie, guys. It has got some warmth to it. But that's the skirting part. That's all you're going to get on the bamboo. Where the Snapmaker does the whole skirt, it's all good. So we're going to pull him off. Oh, he's not wanting to come off that plate. Oh, okay. So the base came off. Base came off great. Smooth, clean. There's a couple little hairs, but we can get that taken care of. Our Predator, on the other hand, is like, no. Now, I could, of course, come in here and you guys can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But okay. We're definitely going to have to sit this phone down. Let me go grab the phone holder so you guys can actually kind of sit with me for a minute while I'm doing this. I know, we're walking all over the office. All over, everywhere. Okay, so when I go to pull this off, this is warm. To me, it's a little too warm. But I do have those gloves that I can use. But watch this. It bends. He's off. Just like that. And he left. That's a cute little thing on see it? It's still stuck on there. We're going to just scrape that right off there. And recycling it goes. Guys, this was the first time that I actually have printed something that had this many tree pieces. As you can see it, see how the tree is like, see how it's printed? That's what I'm talking about. See how easy that was to come off there? And see why they call it a tree? These actually would be kind of cool to keep and maybe make for like a little Halloween village. I think those would be kind of cool. Kind of repurpose them. Now obviously you can see there's some areas that like there's some pieces that have stuck like this little guy. I think we're going to keep these guys and we're going to reuse these. Why not, right? Some of them are going to break off and they're not going to be usable, but we could always paint them. They kind of look like creepy little trees, which I kind of like. Alright, we're just going to kind of break off as many as we can by hand, and then I'm going to go over and grab a tool and you guys can see this is actually sharp, which is kind of cool because that's how the Predator looks. And obviously you can tell like the hair or the dreads or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we have a lot of strings. See the strings here? We can get those off using a lighter or a heat gun. We have a lot of cool little pieces. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to go over to my husband who's sitting over here with a tool, and we're going to let him pull these extra little pieces off. Let's do that real quick. And then we can put this guy together. Now, this was made out of the stone. And to be honest, guys, the pictures and the video don't do it justice. It does have these little dots. I don't know if you guys can see it. Little tiny dots that make it kind of look like it is stone. I feel like maybe what we should have done... Okay, I'm going to show you guys real quick. Hold on, let's show you first. See, these special pliers, just make sure you don't break the... Obviously, right there, you can see the hair looks completely different. But, okay, so the color, to me, looks completely different than it does when you put the filament in. There's the filament. It has specks in it to make it look like stone. These are going to have to come out. They're going to have to go and be put into the... they're not going to have to be put in the dehumidifier because they should be fine because they've been in the AMS unit. But they are definitely going to need to be vacuum sealed. So this Frankenstein's still going. It's at 80%. So let me flip this around. Okay, so you can see it's still at 80%. Still slicing that file. I would like to see how cool he would be done maybe in tan and then kind of go over it. But I guess Frankenstein, I mean, I always think Frankenstein is green. That's just how I think. Wow. With the trees, he's actually only going to take 12 hours and 31 minutes, but the trees make him look really, really weird. Look at this. The design is pretty much gone. The trees have taken over his little face. So I'm going to flip this around here. Yeah, he definitely looks, he looks pretty weird. I don't know that the trees are the best route to go with that. So let's change that back to normal. And we're going to re-slice it. Oh, there's definitely seams. It says yes, there's seams. Ugh, not a fan of that. But, I mean, all plastic technically has seams. My dad worked for a plastic company where they did plastics. And there was always what they called the mold spots. So, on like little toy soldiers, you know how they have the little round circle on them? That's the mold injection spot. And so as a kid, I would always go to the store and look for that because my dad told me about it. So I would always be like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. I want to see how this is done. And it was basically liquid plastic put into a mold and then opened. And it was really cool to see that and to learn that. And now that I'm working with plastics myself, it's a little different because obviously the 3D printer is different than that. But it's super cool that it's kind of like along those lines that, you know, my dad did when I was a young teen. He worked for General Motors until he retired. So completely different than working with plastic. But we're at 80%, and we're going to do the normal, and we're going to see what the normal is going to look like. Because obviously he has the nose, and that's got to support it. Where the tree is actually going up into his eyes, it's going up into the nose, it's going through his ears. It's a little weird looking, but I understand what the purpose of it is. It's to hold it upright so it doesn't fall over. Because as the head is going, it's going to bump that sometimes. And when it does, if it doesn't have the supports, it's going to fling it right off the bed. It's done it 1,000,001 times to me on the Snapmaker. The way the Snapmaker does the supports is either I put supports in there and then it generates the supports, or I can put a raft, which is literally a round circle where it lifts it up and then it prints it on that. Or I can do a brim, which does like almost like a really wide skirt all the way around and then prints in the middle. That's how we always did the dragons, was with a brim. The dragon head was always done with a brim. And I tried that the past 2 times I've printed, and they've gotten messed up. So I'm going to give it a hot minute to do dragons. I will go back and do dragons probably when I get back. And like I said, April is going to be a month that we are going to be working on the website. We're going to be updating a bunch of stuff. I still have not heard back from the candy company. I think I have found somewhere that I can actually go and buy candies that are freeze dried and stuff like that. I want things that are prepackaged that I don't even mess with. But guys, it's generated. So let's turn this around and I'm going to show you guys. Look how he looks with those supports. It almost looks like he doesn't have anything. It almost looks like it's almost like flat. It's kind of weird. And it took 2 hours off of the print by changing that. So that's kind of cool. And that's another thing that you guys might want to look at too if you're doing 3D prints. How fast you want these prints to be printed. So we are going to save this. We're going to export it. We're going to put it into our file. We're going to be printing things like that. I do have masks, like a witch mask and stuff like that. And if we're going to do those, we're going to have to do those over on the Snapmaker because the Bambu does not accept TPU as of right now. It's got to have an update to accept it, which is kind of irritating because I really want it to do it TPU. And so I'm a little irritated by it, but you know, it is what it is. So we will be doing the masks on TPU. Unfortunately, we have one color to do TPU. So I'm going to try and see if there's an update that I can do to get the Bambu. Because according to everybody, you can do TPU in the Bambu, but it is not reading it in the AMS unit. So I don't know if it's the AMS unit that's not reading it or what's happening. So we've got him. He is saved now. Frankenstein is saved. So, sounds weird. But we saved him. We saved Frankenstein. And so when we get back, we'll probably print him in the, you know, the dark green. I have a dark green color. So I'll probably print him on the Bambu and maybe even do like his stitches maybe in black or something like that. That would be kind of cool. Personally, I'm going to have to paint him on the Bambu software, which is not exactly easy. It's a little time consuming, but it can be done. So one more file and then we will be getting ready to let you guys go. Let's see. We have a ghost pumpkin bucket. Let's see what that looks like. The ghost pumpkin bucket. Oh my. That is error. It is too big. Well, yeah, it is. It's way too big. So we are going to resize. I'm going to show you guys how to resize. Okay. So look how big this is. It's an actual pumpkin. This is not a bucket, guys. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I don't even know why it even says that it's a bucket, because it's not a bucket. Okay, this is a pumpkin that you could sit outside on your porch. It's not going to rot, which is kind of cool. Okay, so now we're going to scale it. We're going to go here and we're going to scale it. It's at 100% right now. So we are going to back that up and we are going to do it at 85%. It's going to 85% all of it, okay? Because I have it set to uniform scale. So the X, Y, and Z are going to all be the same. So now it's not saying, hey, your pumpkin is way past what it needs to be. I don't know why they're calling it a ghost pumpkin. I have no idea why, because it just looks like a pumpkin to me. But okay. So now we're going to slice him. And we're going to slice it, because we don't know what kind of pumpkin it is. So let's slice it in preview mode. And now you can kind of see through it. So that pumpkin I'll probably print a bunch of them and put them out on my porch, because I love pumpkins. I don't like carving pumpkins anymore. I'm kind of past that. The mess, ugh. The only thing I love about that is that you can do the seeds, the pumpkin seeds. But they never taste as good as the ones from the store. Just saying. So what's also nice about it is that I live in a neighborhood. I live in a city. So you know how kids get. Some kids will go out and smash pumpkins. I'm not going to lie. I done it a time or two when I was a kid. But it happens, and these are not going to be, if they smash them, they're going to be plastic, and they're just, you know what I mean. It's not going to be like actual pumpkin pieces everywhere. But I don't think that anybody's going to do that, because I've never had an issue with that, even having pumpkins out in the yard during the fall. So it is slicing, guys, and it's just sitting here at 15. It's not moving. The longer we do this, it feels like the slower it gets, which is a little weird. it's a little weird. So, I just, I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. I don't know where the ghost pumpkin thing comes from. I don't know if there's a ghost maybe that goes up in the top. I did not see that file. So that's interesting. But you definitely can put like a candle inside this. I wouldn't put a real candle. I'd put like, an LED candle inside. These would even be cute sitting maybe in the front window of your home or whatever. My cats would try and get in it. I can tell you that right now. Especially my youngest cat. She thinks that being inside plastic is the coolest thing ever. I don't know. She's weird. We love her, but she's weird. And so, again, it's just sitting here at 15%. So we're just going to let that go. We're just going to let it do its thing. And we're going to move back over here. So the base for the Predator is got a peg on it. So this peg, we're going to put glue on it and we'll stick the Predator itself on the base. Right now, I'm going to show you guys real quick. Right now, as you guys can see, this is actually a thread zapper, but it works really good for the threads of the filament. It actually works really, really well to clean that up. So some things that maybe just aren't meant for the 3D print still work really well for the 3D print. I think it looks good. This is sharp though. It is sharp. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to glue him to his base. That's what we're going to do. While that's over there still slicing at 20. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Isn't technology wonderful? Especially when it doesn't want to work. Okay. So, all right. Maybe I will get you guys here. Let me put you guys back in the other phone holder. Not touching the power button like I did last time and shut you guys off. Okay, so you can see the bottom has got a peg and it sits. Yeah, it's fine, but look how wobbly it is. So we are definitely going to glue it. We're going to use the same glue that we use. Look at the detail on this bust. It's super cool, huh? That would be really neat for people who are big Predator fans. I'm not one of them. Sorry, not sorry. I just am not. Where in the world did the glue go? It was sitting here. Oh, I haven't stolen. So we have it. We have the glue, guys. All right, so now we are going to glue this. And I'm going to show you guys how I do this with these ones that have pegs. So I kind of go up here and I let it kind of drip down. I go down here a little bit. I go down the sides. And I do that. Now, I could 100% put some on this side as well, but we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to push it in together right here. It's going to take it a minute. It's not instant like it says. But now, there's a wobble. There's a wobble to it, guys. I'm definitely going to have to order more of this. But that is on there. And how cool would this look with some of that scraggly moss? I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like it's not like classic moss. It's more like Spanish moss. That's what it is. Just kind of give it like that. Or maybe even put some, like, sit it in a plant so it kind of looks like it's in a jungle. That would be really, really cool. I like how it turned out. I like that you can still kind of see a little bit of the specks in it. We got a couple little spots I see that might need to be touched up ever so slightly, but not bad at all. Really cool. It is really cool. It turned out really awesome. That is a really cool print. So what we're going to do now is you guys get to be on here with me. Well, I'm going to pull the filament out of the AMS unit. We are going to vacuum seal all the filament so we can put it away while we're gone. So let's pull out. It would help if I don't have that in my face. 4 silica packets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing this back up. All right. And 4 Ziploc bags. They're not Ziploc, guys. That's a brand. 4 plastic bags. You know how, like, everybody always says that, like, they say Ziploc for plastic bags, or they say Tupperware and it's not Tupperware. That's what I'm saying when I say that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that that is what it is. It is not. It probably would help if I put the silica packets back. That usually does help. Definitely need to do that. Okay, so you guys get to sit here and watch me seal everything up. So hold on just a second. One at a time, I'm going to pull them out of the AMS unit. I'm going to show you guys the filament. So this is filament string, and I personally do not like putting it through here because I'm losing filament when I do that. I like doing that. I take these little pieces and I stick them in there, and now I'm not losing filament anymore. I know it seems kind of weird because sometimes you only lose this much filament, but every little piece helps, right? Especially if you're doing the pen and you're going to have to grab that little tiny piece and put it in. Or break it off there. That helps too. Not. Okay. Let's fix this, guys. Oh my goodness. The hot mess is happening right now. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to spin this back around. I'm going to clip this in place. Back onto the design here. Or this filament is not cooperating. This filament might end up having to be one of those I just have to do that with. See how it's coming off of the spool? Driving me crazy. Okay, so now we're going to put this in and we're just going to push it down in there. There. Now it's not going to move. Make sure not to touch that on the bag. Taking the silica packet and we're going to stick it in the center. I do get asked why the center, because that is the spot it needs to be in for when it can absorb any of the moisture that's in there. I take this little tab and I go over top of it and I push this down. And the reason I do that is so that I can ensure that there is no spot that did not get closed. Taking a little vacuum sealer. And like I told you guys, if you have a vacuum sealer already, you can use that. Absolutely. Absolutely you can use that. And sometimes you do have to adjust it. There, it's taking the air out. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is moving the plastic bag. And we're going to get it all sucked up, and then we're going to get those put up. So then they will be ready to go when we come back. I'm going to miss being live with you guys for sure. And I'm going to miss working in here because this is my zen zone. This is where I love to be because it's just very peaceful and calming and not chaotic. But, you know, sometimes you got to go visit family. And sometimes it's just, that's how it is, right? And so, thank you for the raid. That was awesome. So, you guys are just tuning in. If you guys are watching this on a replay or however, we are taking out all of the filament out of the AMS unit because it's going to be on a little mini vacation. We are not going to be printing anything while we're gone because, and I just noticed, guys, I had an empty, because I reuse these. I have an empty one, so one of these silica packets can go back. But you have to have the AMS unit, or you have to have the bamboo on in order for the AMS unit to let you take the filament out. Just an FYI. So, like I said, if you guys are catching in or tuning in now, we are taking the filament and we are going to be getting it ready to go into hibernation mode, basically, till we get back. And we're going to be printing and printing and printing, I can tell you that. I will show everybody who's hopping in the new stuff that we printed. I will show you guys that in just a second. We will take a little short break after this one, and you guys can actually see what is going on. Okay, so like I said, we are closing this up, double checking, making sure that it is sealed and sealed good. Okay. There's a lot of air in this one. I put a lot of air. So, really quickly, this is the bust that we printed. I glued it. It's glued to its base now. It's not coming off there. Hello! Obviously, you guys know this one. I've already shown you guys this one, but it is going to go onto the website soon. The horse, I did paint that with acrylic paint. I showed you guys the acrylic paint. I will show you that again. The snake turned out super cool. Super cool snake. And he's got a rattle. And it rattles. It rattles, guys. Super cool. So happy the way that snake turned out. Turned out amazing. And I was trying to slither it off the table. Okay, and then we printed the dragon head in gold red filament, and the rest of it is done in gray. And I glued that on at the beginning of the live. And as you guys can see, this is now sealed and ready to be put away. I've been trying to keep my filaments neat. I am an organization person. I just like things organized. It's my thing. Anybody that knows me knows this, of course. And I love the fact that I have these back here that organize everything, but we are running out of room. And the thing is I have used multiple filaments. I've used them. I've made things out of them. I mean, you can see this white is starting to get low. I have another white, so I'm not really worried about it. But it doesn't matter because I get so excited when I'm shopping late at night on Amazon. We've all been there, right? And I find these filament colors and I'm like, oh, that would be so pretty in this. This design would be so pretty. Guys, I need to stop. I need to use what I have. That's another reason why I want those cabinets, because I want to be able to just take the ones that I get that are already pre-sealed and I can put them away, or if they're the same color as some of the colors I already have. Because I do have some of them set up on subscription. Like my blue and white that looks like ice. That one is on subscription because I love the color and I know I'm going to use that a lot, especially for winter projects or things that need to be, that look like ice. I have that dice tower. You guys saw the first dice tower we did. It's done out of that color. Currently, right now, all of the projects that are on the website are sitting over on a bookcase so that they're separate and I don't confuse them with something that's not on the website yet. We have this white one and we have one purple one, and then the AMS unit and the bamboo can be shut down. They can take their little mini vacation, which is, I mean, who doesn't need a vacation? Even our equipment sometimes needs vacation. I'm just hoping that when I get back, everything works great. We'll get it there. If it doesn't, we've got this. We've got this, guys. I believe. Okay, so as you can see, it is nice and tight. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. This is a little trick that I learned. The ones that are in cardboard, one, will not work in the AMS unit. The AMS unit cannot roll them, and they get stuck. But the cardboard ones can be used on the snap maker because the snap maker is open. If you have a bamboo that is open and doesn't have an AMS unit, the cardboard will be fine. Also, when you go to seal these and you're pushing too hard, the cardboard warps. So you really, really, really want to watch that. All right, I think checking to see if I have any space. I don't think any of these have any extra space in them. So, we're going to take the dragon that's getting ready to go to its new home off of the top of here, and we are just going to sit these back here in the back. Another nice thing about this opening up like that, I can sit them back there. So we're going to do the purple, and then I can shut the bamboo down. This will be the first time that the AMS unit is empty. It will also be the first time that there's no filament on the snap maker since I've been doing this for a while. Even while I was at Comic-Con, the snap maker was still printing. It was printing, and I was just letting it do its thing. So, there's multiple different brands of filament. I have found some that I personally like more than others, but they're all pretty much the same. PLA, I do have some PLA Plus, and the PLA Plus is just a little bit stronger filament. But I print everything in a strong file because I want everything to be with quality, okay? So, just an FYI, I try and print everything with kids in mind, thinking, oh, if the kid plays with this and they drop it, is this going to shatter? It could. I'm not going to lie, guys. It could. Some of the spots that, are out of my control where it links like the snake together, that's out of my control, completely out of my control. So it could 100% break if they're really, really rough with it. But for the most part, they're pretty strong. So I try and do that as best I can. All right, this is the last one, and then I will let you guys go. Like I said, the dragon's going to her new home. Its new home. That dragon turned out really, really cool. The snake will be painted or added to the website. Either one. I think I'm going to print another one of the snakes just so that somebody wants to paint it, can paint it themselves. I think that kind of is cool for people who are very artistic, or maybe somebody who just wants to give it a try. Maybe somebody who just needs a little outlet to be able to paint. Like I said, guys, I'm not a painter. I'm just not. But painting things like this, I think, would be a lot of fun. I just think it would be. And the great thing about it is if you primed it, okay, and you didn't like it, you could prime right back over top and repaint it. There it is. That is it. That is all she wrote. Now the machines are shut down, ready for vacation, ready for our break. I will miss being live with everybody. I will definitely miss that because I'm starting to kind of get into a groove, and I'm very, very grateful for every single one of you guys that follows and shares and just gives us shout outs and says, I love your products and I love the way that you guys show things, and just, that kind of stuff is just awesome. Again, products that are going to be going to the website soon will be projects like this, and I'm getting ready to make the pop-up, so it'll tell people that nothing is going to get shipped out until I get back. But April is going to be the month, guys. It's going to have sales on the website. There's going to be a lot more updated on the website. We are going to be revamping the look of Riverstone Cottage with my new logo and all of the things. So thank you guys again for all of your support. Me taking this little break, I will miss everybody. I need it, and I think I'll come back and I'll just be doing so much better. I'm hoping that everything goes well on this trip because I am going back to Michigan. That's where I'm from originally, and sometimes it's a good trip and sometimes it's just very sad because my sister and my mother are no longer with us on this realm. So I miss them so much, and every time I go up there I'm just reminded that they're not there. I don't want to cry on the live, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you, staff. Thank you so much. you guys have a fabulous rest of your day or night or whatever, because it is 8:37 here, Eastern Standard Time, in the U.S., Kentucky. That's where we are located. And we will be back on April 1st. And it's not April Fool's Day joke, guys. I will be back on April 1st. I'm traveling back home on the 31st, but I will be back on the 1st. I'll probably do a live just to kind of get back in the groove of things. So I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of March, and I will see you guys in April. Thank you guys so much. Bye.